Awaken Cohort. And welcome back to another episode of Starfleet Command. Orion Pirates. I'm Fleet Admiral Mirak of the heavy battlecruiser GCS Protector as we continue our campaign against the Klingon Star Empire. And last time, well, we have identified the front line once again. Having pushed past this empty area of space, we've once again located a couple of planets for us to bombard. So in order to sort of prep that, we're going to continue to invade this station here until hopefully we can steal it. So without further ado, let us set out into space for our very first MET-10 patrol of the day. This will neutralize the station. If we win this patrol, and the next mission is not a base assault, and we win that too, then we may have the perfect location with which to begin to invade a planet. Having a station literally bordering a planet makes it so much easier to just continually invade it over and over and over. So yeah, let that be a warning to anybody who wants to try and build stations absolutely everywhere. It is actually a bit of a mistake. You want a little bit of separation between your stations and your planets, if for no other reason than to make it your enemies' lives more difficult when they have to continually invade your planet over and over. And anytime they want to go for repairs, they have to go way far away. But that's enough about strategic concerns. Counting off against us right now is a light cruiser, a D5FX, and a D5DXPM. So this is a drone light cruiser. This, I'm gonna bet it's not a drone cruiser. Anyway, we're also being escorted today by the Brigand, a BCX-2, so the pirates working with us, and the Deathwing, a BCX-3, so both of them are rather disappointing types of ships anyway, but hey, they're pirates, what can you really expect? Let's kick on the engine power, let's start stealing from our shield budget, because we have loads of energy that we can put into other more useful and important things. We'll also increase the speed of time, because we do first want to get this battle done over with as soon as possible, and in order to do that, we're going to basically run up on top of them, hit them with a tractor beam, unload all the plasma torpedoes on top of them, and then they will die. And the reason why we're focusing on this one first is that the AI doesn't really know how to handle massive drone swarms, and even though it wasn't the biggest drone swarm you ever done see, for that go see season, what was it, 12, 14? Oh, mission's already complete, you don't say. Go back and check out our most recent Mirak campaign where we got, I believe, 196 missile salvos going at different planets. It was rather impressive, actually. Tile neutral, okay, we'll pop out over here to grab the mission here. Another MET-10 patrol, probably testing my luck just a little bit too much, but I'm hoping that I can pull this off. This will also neutralize this tile as well, so that'll be a nice little pickup there. No friends with us on this one. The enemy is also nowhere to be found just yet, but we're going to kick on the speed a little bit, increase the speed of time. We need to chug along, and we also need to spend at least 3 turns charging our plasma torpedoes, so there is that. And where is it? There is the enemy. A freighter, according to this, so we probably don't even need our heavy weapons. An FTX-1. Oh, that's adorable. He's basically an ignorable freighter. He's an armored freighter, technically, I suppose you can point him out to be, and he is a little bit more difficult if you've only got phasers to try and kill him, as opposed to having just ridiculous numbers of plasma torpedoes. But since he's the only target out here, it's gonna be easy. When he's part of a convoy, it becomes a little... okay, never mind, defensive. Yeah, he had a defensive D-type plasma torpedo. Defensive D-type, well, yeah, that'd be an... He had a D-type plasma torpedo, which would have been able to shoot down any drones. Lucky for us, plasma torpedoes ain't drones. And so we were just able to completely annihilate anything that he ever had. Now, frankly, I probably could have killed him with my phasers alone, but who cares? So, tile neutral, let's see if we roll up a normal patrol. Darn it. So we're going to be blowing up the base station. That's unfortunate. We could run away and then come back and run away and come back until we got the right mission, but that would be cheesy. We're going to do this the right way. Also, holy crap, did we bring everybody? We're being escorted today by the USS Grant and the USS Hodgson. Both of them are Federation heavy bombardment cruisers. So... we basically brought the ultimate siege, and squaring off against us is a heavy bombardment cruiser. What? So the Sword of Kalis is out there. Let's prepare our tractor beams. This is going to be interesting. Now, honestly, I think a Gorn heavy bombardment cruiser kind of outguns all 3 of these ships so far. We also know that there's 1, maybe 2 more vessels out there. And the reason why I think that we outgun them is because our plasma torpedoes are absolutely ridiculous. He might be able to survive this incoming plasma barrage just because he's got so much shields, but we'll have sandpapered them all completely away after the initial salvo. There's his buddy. I was waiting for you. And he's a C9X, so he's a dreadnought. But no, the heavy bombardment cruiser is more dangerous at the moment. I know, it's a little bit crazy. Klingon heavy bombardment cruisers, and really Klingon X-type heavy cruisers are not really the end-all be-all, I'd say. It's not like the heavy disruptor is used in the same way that the heavy photon torpedo is, as a complete and total replacement for the original weapon system. So I'm not sure if Klingon X-type heavy cruisers get a massive bonus for all of their stuff, actually. Which, that's going to be an interesting thing to sort of test out moving forward, because only one of those photon torpedoes hit. That is very unfortunate. So, what was the point I was going to... Oh yeah, I haven't played the Klingons since Season 2, I think? And even, yeah, I haven't played them in a stream campaign. It's been since Season 2 since we last did anything to do with the Klingons. So if I'm completely honest, the only real experience I've had with Klingons as of late purely has been in the top videos, the top 8 weapon videos. So and that was their super high-end stuff. So, and while the Klingons are slated to get the next round of ship upgrades or ship improvements, modifications to TNG style, when the TNG mod finally makes it to them, we're currently still working on the Federation resizing, so yeah, they're a little bit further behind. The one downside, of course, of a Federation heavy bombardment cruiser is it doesn't have the defenses. It doesn't have an AMD naturally as part of it, which, you know, not exactly ideal, but it's not the worst thing in the world generally. I normally would actually pick a, if I was going to go with a heavy cruiser for the Federation X class, I'd probably pick a just the normal XCA, mainly because 2 of the XCB's photon torpedoes shoot backwards, so you don't really gain a whole heck of a lot there, and it gets even worse. You lose all your defenses, you have even less power ability to handle massive power consumption problems, because I don't believe they get much more in terms of actual power generation, and so they're kind of screwed. Oh, he did launch a shuttle. That's lovely. That means I can pull away from him as fast as I can. I've only got 2 more plasma torpedoes to shoot his way, but come on, I think he's dead at this point. We did take a little more damage than I otherwise would have liked. The heavy disruptors can actually penetrate your shielding for free. Well, not for free, but they will spill over into your shields if they do a certain amount of damage. Okay, so that's going to be that taken out, unfortunately. And we picked off that. Lovely. So we'll just wait to fire a plasma torpedo right into his face. And that's all I've got at this point. Phasers, of course, as well, but... Oh, wow. Did not expect that to actually kill him. Okay, so we're going to slow away now, because we need to get our enveloping plasma torpedoes fully charged. We're going to get... Oh god, it's a big one. So we're actually dealing with a bit large-scale station. This is very, very powerful. If this is the one I'm thinking of, which I think it is... Yeah, this one. So we are dealing with 2, 4... 6, 8, 10, 14 14 phaser 4s. That's more phaser 4s than a planet. So 14 phaser 4s, a whole bunch of heavy disruptors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 heavy disruptors. Jeez. Then of course he's got the massive Gatling phaser point defenses, the huge, absolutely huge missile banks. I mean, this guy is dangerous on so many levels. Oh, did I mention that he gets advanced fighters as well? He's not stuck on any sort of normal ships. No, sirree. He gets the full power grip. And he gets quite a few of them as well. So my plan is as follows. Fly towards the location, fire plasma torpedoes, and honestly, I think I'm going to just stop here. Let's pull it to a stop. Fire the plasma oh crap, no, shoot! Because he's a station, he can launch wild weasels. So, obviously not ideal. I'm going to slow down the speed of time, just give him an opportunity to try and defend it. But yeah, those heavy disruptors can go through your shields, which is a bit of a problem. So they're going to have a hard time taking this station. I'm going to have a hard time taking this station. I don't even know if we'll be able to pull it off. Please, no, that point defense is more than capable of handling it. Right, so here's my plan. I hope the plan works, but this is the plan as follows. So I'm going to fire 2 and then everything else. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. By staggering it like that, what I'm hoping for is one will get a wild weasel, which they did, and the other one will actually hit the location. Unfortunately, we are too far out to actually have an effect. We gotta get closer. There goes the first XCB. It's a problem. We're gonna get one more salvo and then we're out. Okay, we're in trouble now. Stop. Let's see how much of this fire I can actually tank. So we got missiles heading our way, which is of course not ideal. I'm gonna set my phaser capacitor way low. Phasers to normal mode. Because we're gonna need to. And oh crap. I hate the fact that you can just cut right through my defenses. I didn't hit that in time. That was unfortunate. Okay, let's try this again. We're a little bit closer, so maybe that'll help. Set it even lower. And wait for it. Did I have the tractor beams off? I feel like a bit of an idiot now. I don't know if I can actually take this. Especially not with all the mistakes we've made so far. Oh, did the S-Type? They didn't even make it to him. I gotta get even closer. I don't know if I can. That's gonna be an interesting problem. I think I can take it. I just need to be close enough to deal enough damage. And that is a difficult thing to try. Especially with the multiple waves of incoming fighters. They make life much more difficult. My D-type plasma torpedoes are no longer active. Oh crap. Alright. You're gonna get an R-type plasma torpedo. And there are. Oh shoot, that's not. Yeah, we're out of here. So we gotta leave. We lost our forward shield, and now we're getting blasted up by 16 phaser force. Alright, so I did want to capture this location, but I didn't quite anticipate having to deal with all that. So the XSB is a fairly powerful station. Deals out quite a bit of damage. Maybe if we had more? I don't know. It's a little bit of a difficult problem. We've got to get close enough to be able to actually get through his defenses, and that's actually a fairly difficult thing to do. Plasma torpedoes are incredibly powerful, but you have to be able to get close enough to use them. And in this case, we just kind of couldn't. If I had been more aggressive early on, sort of lunged on in there with the other ones, probably could have turned the tide. We did play this one just a little bit too gun-shy, and I think that's what probably ended up failing this mission. And honestly, if I turned back in, I might be able to do something. If I get my shields back. But we're going to head off, we're going to get repairs, and then we're going to come back and we're going to try again. And to be fair, this is kind of the outcome I would have preferred too. That way we can successfully steal the station and use it. Although the station will now, I believe, go back to the Klingons. And it's going to be a little bit more difficult to take, because they should get an Empire defense bonus from this, so that's going to be unpleasant to have to deal with. But with any luck, we'll be able to sort of work through it anyway. No prestige. The tile is still an Empire defense of 1. I'm going to hop back here immediately. Darn it. Why? Why did it go for another base assault? I wanted to steal it. Oh, it's a small one. Okay. This one we've got easy. We saw the outline of the station. It's a teeny tiny one. It's ignorable. Well, not ignorable, but it's destroyable. Alright, let's prep all our combat. They, of course, have a dreadnought this time. They have brought a C5. Okay, they kind of brought a dreadnought. They brought a light dreadnought, and come on, let's be honest with ourselves. We are capable of annihilating C9s, and a C5 is nothing. So as long as the plasma torpedoes and the tractor beam are all charged and prepped and ready, we should be able to just bulldoze right through this guy. With basically no trouble at all. His biggest advantage, his maneuverability, is largely ignorable because the AI will not use it. Also, he is bigger than me technically, so there is that. Let's slow way down so I get a ton of forward shield defense. There's my point. Okay, lovely phasers. Thank you. Let him go. Let him go. I will start picking up the speed. And we'll start engaging with phasers again and again, and as long as I can get my bow away from him, I'll be happy. That'll make me confident for taking on the next thing. Gatling phaser, please get involved. That's what we wanted. Lovely. Alrighty, maximum speed time. Let's go on towards the station itself. We are going to break it this time. There will be no survival this time. No, this is a much, much smaller station with a lot less firepower. So this has less, I think this has a little bit more firepower than an asteroid base, but less firepower than a planet. So we'll send in a probe just to confirm. I mean, it is already starting to engage us with the phaser force, which can be a little bit of a problem. I mean, you don't want to be attacked by it too much. But as you can see, even though he's an advanced station, he's got 6 phaser 4s and then a couple of Gatling phasers around there. He's also got the heavy disruptor, which is more irritating than actually dangerous in those numbers because he's got to cause enough damage to get through our shields, but he can still actually bleed through the shield, which is irritating but not undefeatable. We'll also be able to get a lot closer. Oh, but he's got fighters. Let's slow way down. He's got K-Swifts, and they've already begun to engage with their missiles. Phasers, get prepared to destroy the enemy. So our point defense system already engaging quite heavily. And, wait for it. Now that they've fired, I can easily handle them. Oh, I didn't have my phasers overloaded, I don't think. Or at least I don't quite know how to explain the fact that he's alive. Okay, well he's going home. Oh, there's the other group. I thought they had launched some. You know what? Kill him. This is gonna take a little while. Oh shoot. That hurt a lot more than I anticipated. So, this will take a little while, but we're gonna do it the right way, the safe way, the way that will ensure that we survive. Unfortunately for us, we did, however, take a whole bunch of missiles to the face, which was not ideal, but I think we can still handle it. Let's start picking up the pace, because all the fighters went back home. Well, the fighters that survived. And our point defense system is going to fail us, but that'll be fine. Did you launch your fighters again? Did they decide they wanted to get involved with this battle once more? 3, 2, 1, engage. Yeah, dead. Alright, so now that we've dealt with all the fighters, we won't have to worry about additional missiles that start complicating our point defense problem. That'll keep our phaser capacitor fully topped off, which means that we don't have to worry about suddenly our phasers sapping a whole ton of power, which takes away from the shield, which causes a catalyst failure, because over and over we start taking more and more damage that we can't afford to be taking. Lovely. So we need to get to a distance of about 15, because that will allow us to ensure that we are being accurate with our plasma torpedoes. By accurate, I mean they'll still have enough power to hit the shuttle once he actually launches it. So I'm not quite sure what will cause him to launch it, but I want to see if we can't figure it out. Oh, it looks like your phasers are in specific firing arcs. That makes my life a lot easier. A little bit closer. I want to be within the 15. There we go. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's all of them. So they will all now go back into the shield. And we've knocked out most of his shield. Lovely. So this is the plan. And it looks like our shield reinforcement is able to actually handle the pressure. So we should be able to just hang out here and just continually barrage it. So not terrible. These stations are always underwhelming in terms of actual firepower. I have no concerns with actually trying to take them on, because at the end of the day, they're only going to have this much fire. Now, to be fair, he's a little bit stronger than you otherwise might suspect, purely based on 2, 3, 4. Purely based on the fact that, never mind, I've totally lost my train of thought, mainly because we annihilated the space station, so there's no real point in thinking about the space station anymore, since it's just a pile of floating debris. Now, one of the things we could do is we could pick up a space station of our own and sort of cart it out here next to the planet and place it there, and that might be just a little bit amusing. We do need to go back for repairs at some point soon, but we're going to poke in on the planet. Actually, we probably shouldn't. Planetary assault? Maybe it won't take as long as I think it is, because we've only got like a minute and a half left in the nominal running time of an episode, although we go long all the time. Defense Condition 1, we'll prepare everything. We are being escorted today by, once we get ourselves up to speed, the USS Permit, which is a light dreadnought, and the new drone cruiser USS Cochrane. So we're actually dealing with two rather ridiculous ends of the spectrum. And we got a DWD and a dreadnought of some description. Let's go do our job and go kill that dreadnought, because that's our purpose. That's why we exist, to bombard dreadnoughts into dust. Because we do that a lot better than we, blow up planets and stations, mainly because in order to do that, we've got to get close, and we don't like getting all that close. So, light dreadnought. The fact that the DNLX still exists in this era is more than a little ridiculous to me. Like, it's an interesting design, but it is so dated looking compared to the rest of the Federation fleet. Hi, we got a lot closer than I thought we were going to. And let them go. And Gatling phasers. And other phasers. All the weapons that I would otherwise use. And you're basically done for at this point, which is lovely. Should free up my power generation for other things, but he's crippled at this point. He's just going to steadily lose speed and power. So we're just going to take advantage of that. A little bit out of range for the Gatling phaser, unfortunately. But we yeah, the new drone cruiser. I forgot about him for a moment. Wow, why would you do that? You were accelerating away from him and you had a point defense system that was working just fine. The AI does very dumb things when it comes to missile point defense. So I believe that the Cochrane... Oh, no, the Cochrane didn't even wait for his missiles to get through. He just decided he was going to continue to fire. So I suppose we'll come up on this DWD then. He's also packing a whole bunch of missiles, which could be a little bit of a danger for the currently standing still permit, but the permit should be able to get moving before anything too untoward happens. And his point defense is nothing to sneer at. It's fairly decent. We, on the other hand, do have to worry about a little bit about it. Nothing too much, but after our first salvo, we lose a lot of power down there. We're going to increase the time. He's now surrounded, but he's going to stop because he's an idiot. It's not his fault, it's his programming. But this will allow us to make a final run in with several plasmas and other fun weapons. So plasmas just as soon as they can. There we go. That's 2 of them. That's all I've got. Phasers to wake him up, and then... Ooh, he's not quite dead. Close, though. Now he's dead. Perfect. On to the PLPH. So the PLPH actually is defended. It has 8 Phaser 4s and then 16 Phaser 3s, which, you know, seems like a lot of firepower, and it is, but the 16 Phaser 3s only... Oh yeah, I almost forgot. He's then got 8 of whatever weapon his Empire uses, so if you're playing a Disruptor-armed Empire, like, say, the Mirak, the Lyrans, or the Klingons in this case, he has 8 Disruptors, which is pathetic. So if you're playing a plasma race, like the Gorn, the ISC, or the Romulans, you get, I think it's 8, or is it 4? One of the two. You get a large number of Plasma S torpedoes, which is kind of hilarious. If you play as the Federation, you get 8 photon torpedoes, which is, could be interesting, but I don't think ever actually amounts to a whole heck of a lot. So we're just going to cruise on in here, then we'll unload with our plasma torpedoes. We'll open up the entire planet, and these two should be able to barrage it into dust. The range for the siege, of course, is about a 15 if you can get there. And how's my shield reinforcement? Okay, good. It is set forward. Okay, let's just pull into a nice little stop here. I will fire all the plasma torpedoes. Unlike stations, planets cannot actually launch shuttles, which makes sieging them a lot easier. And we just did 194 damage in no effort at all. And now they can get in, and they can just start supplying heavy weapons as well. We can go take a look. They've got 13 Marines remaining. If we were actually able to get close to the point where our plasma torpedoes could do more all the possible damage, we might be able to knock them from their maximum Marine count to their minimum Marine count in one salvo. It's not a guarantee, but I would be interested to see what would happen if we tried it. Whole bunch more plasma on an unshielded target. It's not going to end well for them. Apparently they had shields somewhere, but I don't think they've got a lot left. Plasma, or not plasma, probe. Let's start going forward because they're starting to fix a couple of things. Let's go check out their Marine counts as well. Yeah, they're down to minimum. So already we have done it. So we're just going to pull up in a nice little parking orbit right next to them and barrage them into dust. Because I want to make sure that they're dead. So we have one more giant plasma torpedo barrage to perform. And we'll stop on here. Giant plasma torpedo barrage. Not all stun and everything. And with any luck that type... Okay, good. We're done. The planet will be conquered. There is nothing they can do to stop us. And we have put in so much firepower into this planet. It's kind of ridiculous. So this will be the first salvo on our newest planetary assault. It did have an Empire defense of 65, and I don't think we've actually taken any missions here at all so far. So this will be a little while, but this is their current bastion, their final fortress. Probably not. They probably have at least one more planet. The Klingons are actually lousy with planets. It's kind of ridiculous. So with any luck, this might be, but I do think there's another planet further south. 495 prestige is our reward for a job well done, or maybe not, actually. They may have lost it. Unless it's here. Let's peek. Yeah, they've got 2 planets left. So that's going to do it for today's episode. I've been Tarek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe before I see a notification every time I post one of these videos. Press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.